Well, I've had my fingers crossed for this moment for quite a while, the Lotus Emira. It's here in New Zealand, and not just any Emira. This is a pre-production model, not quite the finished product, and it's only here in New Zealand for a short time. But the key thing is, it's not a show car, it does run. And even better, I've got the keys. The Emira has been described as a baby supercar, but it's not actually tiny. It's also seriously good looking, dramatic even from some angles. Now visually, there isn't a whole lot to distinguish Lotus ancestry, bar the badge, at least not ancient history. The main styling inspiration comes from the Evija hypercar, those cutouts, the ducts, the rear arches, and in the flesh it's a genuine head turner. This is Lotus's farewell to internal combustion. And in this case, that's a 3.5 litre supercharged V6, the same one from the Evija, 300 kilowatts, that's 400 horsepower, running through a 6-speed manual. There is also an auto option, and down the track a 2 litre turbo is coming. Well, the first thing that hits you when you get into the Emira is it does feel more grown up than the Elite. It's bigger and more comfortable, but don't mistake that for it being a sort of GT. It is still very much a sports car, playfully Lotus. And that's no more apparent than your hands. The steering wheel is so direct, so instant. It's noticeably better dampened than the Elise, less of a go-kart, more a car, but still largely uncensored. No other new road car connects you like a Lotus does. Even with the Emira's refinement and more compliant suspension, you remain fully aware of what those tyres are doing. While not pushing out any great rate of knots, you straight away get the feeling that the steering, even though it's immediate, it's also not going to bite you should you underestimate a corner. Because the chassis is blessed with that Lotus magic. And in keeping with the tradition, where possible, you are given an X-ray view of the mechanics that help the Emira perform its tricks, from the gear shift to the throttle linkage. It's like an Automotive Peep show, and I'm not ashamed to say, I quite like watching it. But for all those naked delights, the Emira's interior is entirely and finely dressed. Forget the bare bones of the Elise. Even as a pre-production model, this is a whole new level for Lotus. It looks, feels, and even smells premium. You know, in the past, the austere surroundings of a Lotus were sort of, well, part of the experience. It highlighted the driving focus of the car. That's not the case anymore. Still the driving pleasure's there, but it doesn't feel like a kit car. In fact, if anything, the Emira has all the kit. There's properly good infotainment with the 10.25-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and there's a decent sound system and even cup holders. Storage is at a premium. There's no frunk, but there is a decent space behind the seats to complement the boot. There is one other key piece of equipment. That supercharged V6. It really makes the Emira boogie. 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. Now, maybe compared to a supercar, that's not a headline grabber, but no single part of the Emira really is a headline grabber. It delivers across the board, and that's the magic of it. Actually, I'm wrong. There is one headline grabber, and that is absolute driving delight. And the supercharger, well, that sounds like a banshee. It's so easy to see why this first edition version is almost sold out in New Zealand. You know, usually when you describe something as the beginning of the end, it's not a good thing, but that's exactly what the Emira is, the very last petrol-powered Lotus production car. This is everything Lotus have ever put on the road, distilled into one awesome car, one awesome looking car too. I know I spent my childhood drawing the Esprit, why wouldn't you? You only needed a ruler after all. But for me, this is the best looking Lotus yet. I really do love it. Just enough analog feel to make every drive super special. Even as a pre-production car, it is truly awesome. So yes, this time the beginning of the end is the start of something great.